Jack Roush's Cup Series resume speaks for itself, but many fans nowadays forget how dominant their Xfinity Series program was. Specifically, their number 60 entry. From 1992 to 2000, Mark Martin won a total of 39 races on a part-time basis. Greg Biffle won a total of 14 races from 2001 to 2004, competing full-time in his first 2 seasons, which included the 2002 Busch Series Championship. Carl Edwards went on to win 39 races from 2005 to 2012, winning the Busch Series Championship in 2007. And finally, Chris Buescher was the last driver to win in this entry, scoring 3 wins from 2014 to 2015, ending in the 2015 Xfinity Series Championship. Fast forward to 2018, and Roush Racing decided they wanted to split the 60 car 3 ways. Young prospects Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, and Ty Majeski were set to compete for the Owners' Championship. What soon followed was one of the most memorable seasons ever, but for all of the wrong reasons. This is the worst Xfinity Series season.
I've often said you got to be strong mentally to be successful at this style of racing. I go back to last year when he was competing for you, involved in an early crash in the truck race. His only experience here, does that weigh on his mind at all?
Oh, that's definitely weighs on your mind. And this type of racing, look, it's tough. It's really tough. You know, you want to trim your car out to be as fast as it can be. And sometimes when you do that, they make them hard to drive.
Roush's 60 team was put together by Ford Motorsports to grow 3 drivers and help them advance their careers. They named the group #TheProgram60. Austin Cindric started the season driving in 4 of the first 5 races, only being able to score a best finish of 16th. It became apparent right away that the 60 team was not going to be very competitive. Once Ty Majeski and Chase Briscoe got in the car, they didn't perform too much better. The best result after the first 9 races was Chase Briscoe's 11th place finish at Texas. Forget the Owners' Championship, can this team even finish top 20 in points?
I don't even know that he even touched him. If he did, it wasn't much. Like you said, the cars are very, very light there, and the least little bit of change in direction behind you can upset your car and take
the
it out
one
from
thing that you
underneath
can't really see from the cameras in these cars, they have a little crown to the back bumper and the front bumper, and if you get offline just a little bit, this is exactly what happens.
How much bad luck has Ty Majeski had?
Yeah, that restart, remember early, he's getting a big push from Elliott Sadler, maybe missed a shift. And now here, Ryan Sieg down on the inside.
I say bad luck. I didn't just mean today. I meant his 3 starts this year.
You could see Lupton maybe trying to get up in line and just turned hard into the outside while that was Austin Cindric. Cindric had the spot and Lupton tried to take it.
Yeah, and that's at that point of the race where you can't let a guy have something like that. You know, 33 laps to go. It's time to make your way to the front, and there's going to be a lot more take than there is give at this point.
And here's what happened coming off of turn 2 that final time around.
Looks like a replay from earlier where the 9 car just gets loose, and then you can see Ty Majeski just, that car was already damaged, I'm sure a handful, and he had to try to change directions. Oh, there's a crash.
Hard into the wall. 60 of Chase Briscoe, Michael Annett got some of that as well. Caution is out. 4th one of the afternoon.
Oh. Combination of things happened there. I think the 60 of Cindric tried to get in a hole. Maybe a spotter called him off, pulled down to the inside, and they made contact.
Yeah, it looked like he had the hole there for a second. He went for it and maybe thought maybe he's there, and he didn't want to crash and by clearing himself up when there was a car there, but and then he got to the back bumper and around they went.
He's up the racetrack a little bit. Matt Tiff's going to try to drive in there to get to his inside, and they just got together. 60 of Austin Cindric just wasn't on the very bottom of the racetrack. Opened up a little bit of hole that Matt Tiff you thought was there, and then you can see right here the contact with Reddick.
After 2 consecutive top 10s by Majeski and Briscoe in June, Cindric's flip at Daytona kicked off one of the worst stretches in NASCAR history. In the 17 races between July and November, there were only 2 races where the car did not crash or spin at some point in the race. There were even some weekends during the stretch where the car not only crashed during the race, but also either in practice or qualifying. Austin Cindric crashed in both practice and on the final lap of the race at New Hampshire. With the most crashes of anyone, Ty Majeski was involved in 14 incidents while driving the car in 12 races. On the other hand, it wasn't all bad for him. In the 2 races he didn't have any problems, Majeski finished 7th and 8th, the 2 best finishes for the team. Chase Briscoe posted a total of 3 top 10 finishes and 7 incidents in 11 races. Austin Cindric performed the worst of the 3, failing to score a top 10 with a best finish of 13th, and in 9 races had 7 incidents. Despite not scoring a single top 10 in the 60, Cindric was still able to make that season's Xfinity Series playoffs. Why? Because he split time between Roush Racing and Team Penske. He put together some solid performances in the 22, but it didn't seem to matter at the time. Why? Because fans viewed him as another nepotism driver, only getting these opportunities because his father Tim Cindric was the president over at Team Penske. For the rest of the season, he had the bust label written all over him. Briscoe and Majeski weren't too far behind either. For fans who grew up watching the 60 win so many Xfinity Series races, it was unbelievable to see the team struggling this bad. How bad was it? To put it in more perspective, the 60 car ended up finishing the season 22nd in owners points, finishing behind the teams of Joey Gase, Alex LeBay, and Ryan Sieg. If you didn't think it could get any worse, the final 10 races of the season proved otherwise. The 60 was involved in some of the worst wrecks of the season during this time span, only furthering the narrative that this team has been nothing but cursed all season long.
This is Ryan Truex we're riding along with, and Ryan Truex gets into the back of him.
Yeah, just misjudgment there by the driver. You know, it certainly wasn't anything intentional in that situation, but that doesn't help Austin Cindric at all.
No, I could almost cry because this team has worked so hard, and just to be not able to experience this race and my last race with this team, it really bothers me. So, I thank everyone at Ford Olive Fans for performance. I'm just really frustrated.
Back down, they block. The 60 goes around. Briscoe hard into the wall.
Ty Majeski with a big impact.
We got hit.
Hard impact.
Are you kidding me?
He was running 14th.
And this team, I cannot count the number of cars that this team has
The 16 hurt me.
crashed this year. Ryan Reed did not hold his line and got into the 60.
You heard him say, "Are you kidding me?"
That's the 11th
Yeah, so many times.
DNF for an accident this year with his 60 car. I don't blame him for being upset.
Hard hit there by Majeski.
And I don't blame Jack Roush for being upset either.
Entering turn 5 uphill. Just got in there too hot on his cool-down lap.
You wouldn't expect that.
I mean, he may have been trying to run another lap.
Just gets away from him, tried to put the throttle down and around the car win, and that's what we're hearing so much of these drivers are talking about is if you push it all and you overstep your bounds, before you know it, the car's around.
Then this most recent accident here, guys, this is what the restarts are going to look like.
This is a difficult pass, driving underneath the 60 of Briscoe. Your car gets really loose. Chastain making him loose with the rear bumper. Oh!
Up the racetrack, he catches the 60. Into the wall he goes. Caution comes out.
Two teammates.
And once again, a car on the outside of another car, taking the air off the 60 car.
And there's a spin in turn 3 in the 60.
And in front of that, the 42.
Ty Majeski and damage to the front of the 7.
Finally, after all of the struggling and crashing that took place in 2018, the season was finally over. Roush Racing would cease operations of its Xfinity Series program at season's end. It may have been horrible, but technically, the program's 60 accomplished its goals of furthering the careers of its drivers. Austin Cindric won the 2020 Xfinity Series Championship before moving up to the Cup Series in 2022, where he won the Daytona 500. Along with Roush, Chase Briscoe ran some races in 2018 for Stewart-Haas Racing, winning at the Charlotte Roval. This landed him a full-time opportunity with the team, where from 2019 to 2020, he won 10 races before moving up to the Cup Series full-time in 2021, scoring his first career Cup Series win at Phoenix in 2022. And finally, Ty Majeski bounced around for a little bit, winning some ARCA races before landing a full-time gig with Thor Sport in the Truck Series. The Roush Racing 60 is still regarded to this day as one of the greatest Xfinity Series entries. With Jack Roush splitting ownership duties with Brad Keselowski, maybe there's hope that one day we'll see the famous Roush 60 return to the Xfinity Series, but with all of its success, we can't forget how it ended, with 28 total incidents in 33 races during its final season, making this, without a doubt, the worst Xfinity Series season. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.